What's up, everyone? Check out the Comic Outlaw, aka Jack Slater, and yeah, I'm on YouTube. Hit the like button, the subscribe, smash that shit. But anyways, we're doing Fantastic Four number 39. A blind man shall lead them, and yes, when we left off, the Frightful Four had won. They devastated the Fantastic Four, and in the process, they had lost their powers for Thing had turned human. And we will find out what happens today, as they are found drifting on the sea. And the Navy rescues them right here. And they've been drifting for a while, passed out. And like I said, Thing has turned into a full-on Ben Grimm. He has no superpowers whatsoever. And then, like, they were caught up in this explosion. And at first, I thought it was a Q-bomb, but I guess now it's a nuclear explosion. I guess it mixed in with their cosmic powers, and it kind of just ended up shutting them down. The Frightful Four ended up taking off in their victory, and they basically just hoodwinked the Fantastic Four. They outclassed them in every way, and Reed wakes up and realizes that they are without powers. And, the guys are kind of joking, asking them to stretch, and they realize that they have nothing at this point. It's just nothing to joke about. They have no powers whatsoever. But Reed still has his genius. And he tries to figure out a way to duplicate their powers, to bring them back, anything. Because he's also been working on a serum for Ben Grimm at this point, on and off. So he's been trying to understand their powers for a while now. Their limits, and most of all, the origin of their powers. So in the meantime, he works on devices to try to duplicate them. Sue is wearing a device that's supposed to bend light around her. Ben Grimm is given a Thing robot, which looks very cool. And the Human Torch is kind of in a torch-like green suit. Basically, he looks like a giant chili pepper. He lights up for a little bit and then kind of shorts out on him. Reed's trying to work on these powers right now, but it's the best that he could do on such short notice. So they're sort of glitching, malfunctioning. But it's just what he came up with off the cuff. But it's very cool to actually see Ben Grimm control a Thing robot. And of course, the Invisible Girl's powers are not really working. You can still see her. She's sort of bending light, but it's sort of shimmering around her, kind of like the Predator movie. So these guys are trying to figure out how they're going to live without their powers, or what they're going to do. Meanwhile, Dr. Doom, thinking that he had beaten Reed in a previous annual, he was tricked into it. The hypnotist frees him from this, and he realizes that it was a trick. And Doom is angry and wants revenge against Reed. He's tired of being tricked, tired of being trapped in voids, and most of all, it's time for Doom to get his. So he flies off in his giant ship, which as always looks very, very badass, as Matt Murdock enters the Baxter building. A metal hand stretches out of nowhere, taps him and tells him to go this way. And I love Matt Murdock. I love that he's kind of a lawyer for all the superheroes, kind of like She-Hulk is. And you see Reed in his new invention. He has like extended arms. And Ben Grimm's trying to get to know the robot. And the Fantastic Four is trying to deal with their new powers. Well, their old powers, with metal devices. And you can see they're really failing at it. But they get attacked. And of course the robot steps in. This gives Matt Murdock time to change into his costume. The Human Torch kind of flames on, but his suit shorts out. Out of nowhere, Daredevil comes out and saves him. And this is just great timing. And Reed's kind of, like I said, everything's falling apart, and they're wondering what they're going to do without their powers. And Daredevil, through his radar senses a ship, in essence. And Reed tells him that it's Dr. Doom, none other than the main man, Dr. Doom, and he wants revenge. He wants revenge against the Fantastic Four. And it's time that he has it. So, he just lays out the Fantastic Four shall die at the hands of Dr. Doom. You gotta love Dr. Doom, the man in the green cape, the man with the limp, the pimp of Latveria, if you know what I'm saying. He sends the Fantastic car after them. And Daredevil, using his radar sense, is helping them duck, dodge, dip, do whatever it is they have to do to get out of the way. And Reed thinks that he has no superpowers whatsoever, but he doesn't understand that he has a radar sense about him. That's how Daredevil is feeling his way around and is able to sense everything that's going on. So he's just basically getting them out of the way, saving them, and he's guiding them, to a safe place. And Doom is kind of wondering how he's going to destroy them, gloating at this point. He has the upper hand, and he's wondering, should he just take them out now? Should he just crush Reed with his bare hands? But no, that's not good enough. He sends a vortex machine. And this is true Doctor Doom fashion, sending some kind of fantastic machine. And Daredevil is able to kind of help the Fantastic Four negotiate their way out of this. He's able to sense everything around him. And this is just how useful Daredevil is. Nobody ever thinks Daredevil is useful. But that radar sense is just all the difference. Reed gets some gas, like cylinders, and what happens is it destroys the tornado, and I guess it kind of shuts down the ray gun for now. You know, because Reed's Reed, and he always has something lying around that seems to negate whatever Doom does. And this is at the point where Doom's just kind of, like I said before, wondering if he should just strangle Reed with his bare hands. Should he just blast them all? But no. Nay. That's not Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom has something else. A probe. And keep in mind, this is 1960s, so a probe nowadays just comes out to the equivalent of a drone. So he sends a drone after him. And Daredevil is kind of ducking and dodging, you know, uses his cane that kind of turns into a rope and different things. He ends up kind of taking out the drone. And the Fantastic Four are kind of lost at this point, wondering what they're going to do. Daredevil is actually risking his life trying to get to the ship. Fragment grenades are going off. He's barely holding on. But Reed knows that he has his mind. Ben's not going to quit, and neither is Johnny, and neither is Sue. They will find a way. Powers or without powers. But will they find a way to beat Doom? Will Daredevil meet his fate? We'll find out the next time, and I'll catch you on the flip side.